Hello, parents and students. So this is the science homework over the weekend, and the science homework really revolves around the difference between what is called a dependent variable and what is called an independent variable. So the first question is just talking about what is the difference between the two. I always like to start with the independent variable. So the independent variable is basically any variable that operates on its own. So a variable that is independent. So I would put a variable that operates um let's see, regardless of other variables. And I'll explain what that means in a minute. And a good example of that would be time. So, regardless of what happens in your day or what's going around in the world, time is not something that's dependent on anything. Time will continue to run the same way, regardless of the other variables operating. The dependent variable, on the other hand, well, the dependent variable reacts or changes depending, again, that dependent, on the independent variable. So, for example, uh, if we were to look at a common house plant growing, the dependent variable would be the plants, how tall the plant's growing or how large the plant's growing, and the independent variable is time. So, how much time it takes for that plant to grow, that's going to completely, how big the plant gets completely is dependent on how much time the plant has to grow. So let's go down and look over some of these examples. Here's the remember that Miss Robinson put in. Time is frequently used as the independent variable. Remember, because time is not dependent on other things. The dependent variable will change over time. This change is what the scientist measures or records. So again, like plant growth would be the dependent variable. So let me show you one example here. Sample problem. A scientist wants to study the diversity of soil bacteria. I'm an ELA teacher at heart, so I do a little diversity. I'm gonna do a little underlining. Just give me a second here. Soil bacteria found during different months of the year. So we're looking for soil bacteria diversity over a certain amount of months. Well, if I remember from the remember up at the top, the independent variable is usually time. So I'm seeing months of the year, the independent variable would be months. I like to write in complete sentences. The independent variable would be months because it is a measure of time. On the other hand, what is the dependent variable? Well, that's dependent on how much time we have. So that would be how much diversity is in the soil bacteria. Again, I like to write in complete sentences. The dependent variable would be the diversity in the soil bacteria. So this is just kind of giving you an idea of some of the things that you need to look at. I would underline any unit of time that you might see. And then what is the variable being measured? So in this particular problem, it's the diversity of the soil bacteria. Like glance at the next one, height of the bean plant. Give you guys a little hint here. Height of the bean plant seems to be a measurement recorded daily for, what's that? 2 weeks. Time measurement, height measurement. I think we might have a good idea of what our independent and dependent variables would be. If you have any questions, just email me or give me a call. Thank you. Have a great day.